Hello, Jacques Marceau, yes. Alright, new movie. This one, Shaolin's in that to Australia. The Shaolin Kung Fu. As it come in to say, the Nien Temple in Lindsay Heights at the end of Warwick Street. You see, understandably, there is this passage of understandings with God. Now, understandably, within this story I'm going to tell you, is where there was this young guy. He's going upon his life. He's only probably about 8 years old. He's riding along. He got hit by a car, right? So he's left for dead pretty much. Now these Shaolin, it was right near the Shaolin Temple. So in understanding, they carried him across into the Shaolin Temple and prayed with God to incarnate and enchant spiritual incarnation to bring him back to life. Now the way this actually works is where it comes into, say, the dramatics of, say, Lionsgate or some of the actual Shaolin Connect for some of the movies. There's some good movies in there, the world. It's not all about fighting. This is where they've come to Australia and they've helped an actual Australian kid. We'll just call him Jack. And he was riding along on his bike, mind you, minding his own business, and boss gets thrown out in front of an oncoming car. Now, mind you, laying there left for dead, mind you, the Shaolin monks like, oh my God, quick, get over there, save his life. So they run over there and they literally get there, right? And they are able to pick him up and take him back to the temple, as I said. And they he's laying there on a board in this solid gold Buddhas around the room and stuff like that. Must be worth $1 bazillion worth of gold, mate. And there's this water, because before the Shaolin Temple was there, it was an actual side of a hill, the whole embankment of the hill, and there's a natural spring where the natural spring water, the water, it comes up at the top, right? And it comes up. So it's got a natural spring water. They don't have to get water. As soon as it rains, it soaks in and comes back up through the ground. But anyway, onto it. So they put the water on the guy's head while he's laying there, this Jack bloke. And they're waking him up, and he's being into the world of the next world, in between worlds, in between, mash. If you see my fingers, as they go like that, say this finger here on this side is the life of the living, and this side is the eternal afterlife. And like I say, it's mashed in between with all this good stuff. Now this story is an absolute classic. This is where it comes into it, where living his life as anything he wants in the way of it that he can get his hands on. It works hard, right? He works really hard, this Jack guy, because he has to go back to school and everything like that. It's not about becoming a monk or anything like that. It's where he goes to get education, just regular education, like an Australian, everyday Australian, to get around as can be a yobbo, can be a drunk yobbo, can be all sorts of gnarly stuff, but in the same understandings of it, can literally be a professor of science, and full doctorate, indoctrinate and have the doctorate of a 7-year university. It's some absolute amazing stuff. As it mixes in between this stuff, this is where he started to go down the wrong passage. Now, understandably, the wrong passage led him astray. And it's where he turned away from faith. He's dabbling in the demon art, right? And he didn't know anything, he forgot all about the Shaolin assistants and stuff like that. He's don't worry about them, it's nothing. And then he's dabbling in this dark magic, in the way of the devil cults and stuff like that. He's Satan and all this stuff, real stupid stuff. And long story into it, the short side of this is where it incarnates him and he starts doing all this bad rampage. If you're familiar with Rampage, rampage, and just rampage. Because he learned Shaolin Kung Fu, he's just you know what I mean? Absolute animalistic type stuff. Doesn't give a fuck, you know what I mean? And in the way of it, he comes into it, he just fights people on the street, and he doesn't care. He's one bloke he fights, he's you stole, he's the dude says, you stole my car. He goes, I didn't steal your car. He goes, you're a fucking car thief. He goes to his friend, him and his friend are standing there. He goes, do I look like a fucking car thief, Sherman? Sherman's like, you don't look like a fucking fat fuck, whatever. Just literally punches the bloke senseless, right? Punches him senseless. Doesn't just stop at one punch, right? Doesn't just stop at one punch. Lines him up with a full combo. Gets him into it, right? Gets him dancing. This bloke, he's like from somewhere else. He's freaking out. He's like, what the fuck's going on? He's getting rampaged. But after it, mate, he knocks him around. After it, for the insult of his intelligence, this Jack bloke, he's like, fuck this, man. Call me a car thief, insult me on the street, disrespect my family name, my family honour. He's like, because it's like fully incarnated, he literally goes and boosts his car. He takes it out this dirt track. He takes his dude's car out this dirt track, and he must be doing like 130 kilometres an hour, 140 kilometres an hour, hitting these jumps, mate, in the car, hitting the jumps at like 120 at least, just like airborne for like 3 seconds, man, like literally gnarliest stuff I've ever seen. And it's mixed in, comes along where this like Shaolin monk after, because it's like messes it all up, messes his car, gets real gnarly. But the thing is, he gets this savage demon, man. This savage demon comes on him, and he's like, I'm not just gonna stop at one car, I'm taking all of his cars. And like all of his friends and family, their cars just start disappearing. Like, what's going on? Someone's targeting our family, they're stealing our cars. And he sees him, he goes, you. Like, because he never, like, the thing is, he sees him and wants to, like, catch up with him because he stole his car. But the next time he saw his car, the dude just, like, literally smashes him senseless. He doesn't even care, eh? Absolutely filthy funny. It was like, Jesus, like, anyway, after that, he's on the train, right? The bloke, this Jack guy, he's on the train, and there's this Shaolin monk, right? Shaolin monk, she's studying in the school just opposite on the other side of the highway. And she's studying in the school, and she comes along, she's holding a pot plant. And she goes, the Jack dude says, may I please have a leaf for my need to eat? And she goes, in all honesty, because she's pure with God, she goes, you would sour my plant. The whole plant would die if you were to touch it. And he breaks the man as he's like, understands, like literally just like, and he breaks him, he falls to the ground, like, oh fuck. Because like when a Shaolin monk says that to you, when it comes out of like the nien, tien, you've done some pretty bad stuff. It's like, so like she gets him and she takes him back into the school, and they're talking to him in the school, and they can tell he's tweaking. Like they're talking like that. Okay, how are you today? And he's like looking off to the side, he's like itching, and he's like, oh yeah man, like thing like yobbo, like full yobbo. He's like, yeah, I'm pretty good, eh? Like I can re-sort myself out, like things aren't that bad, eh mate? But no word of a lie. They're like, slap him up the face, grab him in a lock, they take him back across the bridge, because there's a bridge there. They take him back across the bridge, and they put this mad spell back onto him and like remove the demon, because it's like when he was there, he was helping build the place at the same time to know the little pond underneath and everything like that. He was helping build the place, and he was up on the roof with the devils, up on the roof with the demons, and he reckons they incarnated him, made him a bit sour. But after it, he gets pretty good friends with the Shaolin monk with the plant. She shows him a good way of life and gets him straight up again. It's a pretty good Australian movie. Come out of the Shaolin like connections of the nien, tien and Shaolin Kung Fu on what to do and what not to do in society. And I think I tore my pants. Like anyway, back on the story. Anyway, that's pretty much the end of the story, as you say. Like sum it up in a quick summary. It's like Himalayan mountain Shaolin Kung Fu come here from Nien. It says, say, brought nien, tien. This the bloke got hit by a car. He's got a bit fixed up. Then he got a bit south. Went a bit rampage. Come into society. Kicked it back. Got back into school with the girl. She started helping him. And then, like, he had to get incarnated back into it. But Rampage is a bit more to it. You learn a bit about stuff. But that's 10 minutes of a quick story. Throw together. I'll just smash it like this. My friend wants to see this one, so I thought I'd give a bitzer into what I'm working on into this one. So that's 10 minutes and 10 seconds. Peace. Jacques Marceau.